Members of the press, thank you for joining us this afternoon on this untimely death of a member of our community. Speaking today, we have Acting Chief Inspector Mr. Arthur Glassford, and we have Acting Inspector Mr. Jason Smith. At this time, they will come forward and give us the most recent update. Jason?
Sadly, the Bermuda Police Service can now confirm the identity of the fatal stabbing victim as 25-year-old Denshun Swan. At 12:10 a.m. today, the 27th day of August, several 911 calls were received regarding a large fight involving a group of males outside of the Southampton Rangers Sports Club. Over 20 males were estimated to be involved in the incident, which spilled onto South Road. During the melee, Denshun was stabbed in the abdomen. He was rushed to hospital by a private vehicle, but was later pronounced dead. A family liaison officer has been assigned to assist Denshun's loved ones at this difficult time. We believe that some of the individuals involved in the fight may be linked to gangs. However, police are in the early stages of identifying whether or not this was a gang-related attack. A murder investigation is now underway, and detectives are particularly interested in speaking with any witnesses to the melee or persons that have information about Denshun's movement in the hours prior to the fatal stabbing. In particular, detectives are interested in speaking with the drivers of 3 private cars that had passed along South Road at the time of the melee. The drivers of these cars are of particular interest to this inquiry, and no one has the right to take a life. If you know something, you should say something. And we were asking you to make contact with myself, Detective Inspector Jason Smith, at 717-0864, or Acting Detective Chief Inspector Arthur Glassford at 717-0773. I'll now take any questions you might have on the investigation.
Before you ask any questions, can you identify yourself in the media and that you're representing, please?
Captain Entertainer, sir. This individual, was he known to police? And my reasons why, because back some 10 years ago, he was grazed by a bullet in the Bermuda College. Has he been in your radar?
I can confirm that in 2010 he was the victim of a shooting. At this point, it is still very early, Trevor, to go into the specifics of any sort of gang relations that he has. I think it's still early, and we are open and pursuing several lines of inquiry. And at the appropriate time, we will no doubt release that information where it is appropriate.
Gary Marino. Situation where it's known that the Southampton Rangers Club, the area outside Southampton Rangers Club, there are often incidents which occur up there. Last time there was a significant event, I think 4 DJs or so up there. Why wasn't there a police presence from the get-go, knowing that there would be a large congregation of individuals up at that club?
I will pass on to Detective Chief Inspector Glassford, I think, and assist you there.
Good afternoon. Yes, Gary, in relation to your question, yesterday evening we can confirm it was a social event on at Southampton Rangers Sports Club. Every Sunday there are social gatherings there, and we do pay passing attention to their premises every weekend as part of our weekend policing plan. And I can confirm also that the Southampton Rangers Club have a full-time security company that they hire for events such as this.
But they would not perhaps be equipped to deal with the types of situations we've seen occur up at Southampton Rangers in the past. Shootings, have been 2 or 3 fatalities up there. Why wasn't there a police presence knowing that this type of event was taking place? Wouldn't that have acted perhaps as a preventative measure?
We did have a police presence, and we had a police presence which we deemed suffice for the event, and that would be passing attention. Unless we had specific information, we would have had more proactive measures, but the measures we had in place would suffice that we do every weekend.
Wouldn't the occurrences of the past been information enough for the police to act, to be there, to be present?
I stated we acted on information that we received, and we do put patrols in place to monitor premises such as that.
Any other questions?
Individuals, are you got any suspects that you might be possibly looking at? You say there are 20 people who are involved, so there are many witnesses, and reading from murders in the past that not many people come forward out of fear of reprisal.
As I mentioned earlier, there are three particular vehicles that had passed by at the time of the melee. So those persons who were driving that or those vehicles are of great interest to us. So we're appealing to members of the public who were there to come forward. We are aware that there was a large number of people that was there, and we know that in this modern age that there's social media as well as videos that people may record, and so we're appealing to members of the public who have information about that to also come forward. We do understand and appreciate that this is a sensitive matter, particularly when it comes to persons coming forward to assist the police, but we do have things in place where your identity, can be concealed. And so that's why we've given our cell phone numbers and, of course, the anonymous Crime Stoppers. As it relates to suspects, we have arrested an individual not directly connected to this particular murder investigation, but for being a part of the overall melee. And so inquiries are continuing.
Can you say whether the victim may have been an aggressor or just an innocent victim, perhaps?
I don't know if I want to comment further on that because it's still early stages of the investigation. There are several bits and pieces of information that is coming to our attention, and I think once we have a look at that and analyze that, and again with the public's help to be able to put that into perspective, I think we can comment.
There is the unfortunate situation in this country where young men from certain areas are not able to venture into others. Does the police service find it unusual that perhaps a young man from Port Road would have found himself up at the Rangers Club?
We are aware that there were several gang members that were present at the Rangers during that particular melee, during this incident. So we are clearly aware of that. So any information, though, that any member of the public has that can assist us further, that is the purpose of this appeal today, to get that information. But yes, we are aware that there were gang members present.
Economic question with the Royal Gazette. Was the individual who was killed, would he have been a particular target, or he was one among more than 20? Is there any indication that he was a specific target?
Again, we're very early in the investigation. I don't want to go too far into that. But this is, again, the purpose of this appeal is for those persons who were present to come forward and to assist us. Remember, his mother, his family are also looking for closure. So any way that you can assist them in getting closure, we are grateful for the assistance that you will give.
There's a point of clarification, Mr. Glasgow.
Yeah. Just one point of clarification for Mr. Moreno's question. Just to clarify that the incident took place after an event at Southampton Rangers Club, and information would suggest that as the crowd dispersed, incident took place in the street outside the premises. So we don't want to make it appear that it happened inside the premises. It happened outside the entrance to Southampton Rangers.
And again, Mr. Glasgow, that has been the situation in the past, where it's happened outside Southampton Rangers after an event.
Yes, and as stated before, we addressed that by having passing attention being made to these premises, and also an added feature, as a result of previous incidents, they have hired a full-time security company.
Let me be more direct. 1 second. Let me be more direct. Shouldn't the police have been there from the get-go? You said that you didn't have prior information that anything might happen, but again, based on the history of events up at Southampton Rangers Club, wouldn't it have served the public to have a police presence at that area, given that it was a Sunday night? These things, again, based on history, have happened on Sunday nights after events at that particular club. And
Gary, as I previously said, anytime we have social events on the weekend, we risk assess these events, and we're warranted we put police resources.
Was the club still open at the time?
The club had just closed. The party that was being held at the premises had just ended, and persons congregated outside on the main road, and that's when the fight took place.
So the persons that were congregated had been in the club and had gathered outside?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
Difficult question. Can you confirm or deny that this incident happened outside the range of your CC cameras that are in the vicinity?
I don't know if I want to go into the specifics as to exactly where it happened. It happened on South Road. We can confirm that. We can confirm that there were a number of persons who were present, and we believe that those persons who were present have valuable information that can assist us.
By the CC cameras, my question is, the CC cameras that are in that vicinity, would they have assisted in your investigation?
The CCTV cameras that are there, we are viewing them, and so hopefully at the end of our analysis of that or analyzing of that, we can be able to have a clearer picture.
Has the time come for the police service to perhaps provide information on individuals to security companies who are operating at these events, so in the event that they see someone, they can pass the information on to the police and have the police make an appearance?
Gary, certainly that information is specific to a long-term strategy, but right now we want to stay focused on the investigation at hand.
Any other questions?
Oh, is there any information on the vehicles that were being driven by these drivers you're looking for?
Any information specifically?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have some CCTV that is assisting us in hopefully trying to get a clearer picture of the make and the model of the vehicle. But those drivers would know who they are. They would have driven by at the material time, and so whoever they are, they know what they saw, and that's who we're appealing to come
The
forward.
Bermuda Police Service in the past, when they were talking about this revamping of the CCTV coverage, stated that they were going to have cameras with face and number plate recognition capabilities. So are you saying that these CCTV cameras, police CCTV cameras, were not perhaps able to pick up the license plates and have quick access to the owners of these vehicles?
I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that we are reviewing the footage that we have available, and it is assisting us in this inquiry, but this is a specific appeal to those individuals who were driving at that particular time to come forward. But all lines are being pursued, and we're using every advantage to our advantage.
But it should be an easy fix. You should be able to look at that footage, get the number plates if the information that the police service has put out in the past about these cameras is correct, and so have quick access to the individuals, the owners of those vehicles who perhaps may not have been driving, but can put you onto the individuals who were in fact operating those vehicles.
And again, we have footage that we're reviewing, and that's assisting us and helping to drive the inquiry.
Is it thought that the vehicles collected members of the group that had gathered? Did they take them away post-incident?
I don't know if I can say that. We see the vehicles in footage, so we know what the behavior of the vehicle, but the drivers, that's the particular
There was
key
also
point.
a heavy police presence at King Edward Hospital last night, where we understand, or early this morning, where we understand there was some sort of a melee. Can you shed any light on that for us?
No, I don't. I cannot shed any further light on that.
Okay. Any other questions from members of the media? Thank you so much.